All right, there's a few more trickling in. I'm going to go ahead and get started anyhow, so we can start the meeting on incidental contact, which is, well, every time I get on here, I say, this is one of my favorites. I guess it has to be kind of a favorite for me to talk about it, but incidental contact, I said a little bit earlier, it's a good one because if you are ruling on contact, whether you blow your whistle or don't blow your whistle, when you don't blow your whistle, in essence, you're saying, I'm going to consider that contact incidental because it doesn't rise to the level of a foul. Now, I know that's not how the rule is written exactly, but for the most part, that's kind of what we do. Yes, no, incidental, foul. So I'm going to have a couple examples, many of which are going to be by the letter of what the rule book says, and some that aren't. I've got a few that I've marked up to help the process and many that are not. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll play it slower, a little bit closer. Whistle was blown. I've played this video before. It made my YouTube. What do you guys think? Foul, or is that incidental contact?
I think it's a foul. I think he got him on the arm.
Okay. I'm going to play it again, and then I'm going to roll it in. Okay, foul. Here comes up of just a few little markings.
Oh,
If you zoom in, it's not the best video, right? So far, I paused it. So far, you can, through the blurred of the bodies, you can see arm and arm, not really any contact at this point. Again, we're working on a grainy video. I'm not second guessing what the referee here saw. What I'm saying is let's look at what we can see and talk about what we can see. Right now, it looks like there's nothing. Do we agree?
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Did that not look like he hit his hand while going
Yeah.
up for the ball, for the layup?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Looks like his hand.
That looks like hand. Does it not?
Yeah, hand to hand. Yep.
Yep.
Again, maybe he got him on the wrist. Possible. Maybe he even got some of the arm. Possible. But from what we can see, it's on the hand. So if the foul is on the hand, is that a foul? If the contact,
No,
why not?
Because technically hands the part of the ball.
no.
Okay, Shelby, that's a good comment, but let's phrase it the way the rule book says, because the rules book does not say the hand is part of the ball. The rules book says if someone is, and I'm paraphrasing, if someone is going for the ball, making a play on the ball, and they hit the hand while it is touching the ball, it is to be considered what? What are we talking about?
Incidental contact.
It's to be considered incidental contact. So if I hit the hand while my hand is touching the ball and I hit the hand and I'm making a legitimate attempt at the ball, if you think he's just trying to foul him, you can call a foul because they have to make a play at the ball. Then that's supposed to be considered incidental contact. Does everybody understand that? And it's not just on a layup. It could be while I'm dribbling and then they go for a steal from behind. If they hit the hand while it's touching the ball, that's nothing. If they hit the wrist, and I know that's a small increment from wrist to hand, and we have to make that judgment. But if they hit the hand, that's a good steal because it's incidental contact. Questions?
Yeah, if they hit the arm, it's a foul.
Or the wrist. The wrist
Yeah.
is not part of the hand. You could say it's part of the hand, but it's the wrist, right?
Correct.
So on this video, you're saying that you feel that that's an incidental contact.
But from what I can see on this video, on the blurry zoom in that I can make, it looks like he hit the hand while he was going up for the ball. So that is a good block. It is an incidental contact on a play for the ball. Let that play on.
Okay, yeah, he does kind of go under him there. I mean, you know, he got away from him.
I thought he did a pretty good job of trying to just block the shot. So the point of this one is, let's try not to penalize the defender. The defenders, in my opinion, in the game of basketball as a whole, get penalized for everything. The dribbler gets away with everything. Not everything, but the dribbler gets away with a lot, and shooters get away with a lot. Defenders seem to always kind of, they do something legal and we call a foul anyway. So we just have to try and remember that the defenders can do lots of things legally. So we have to recognize those. All right. Next one. You see it down in the corner. Let me play it fast real quick. Foul. Foul was called, but what do you see? Was there a foul? There was definitely contact.
Ball.
Does it look like if he hit him on the hand while touching the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I'll show it again real quick. His hand is on the ball. And if it is on the hand even right now, that's okay, right? Because we just learned if you hit the hand in an attempt to play the ball, if the hand is touching the ball, it is incidental contact. Now, maybe he got his wrist. We can't tell from this video. The official's right on top of it. It's possible. But if he hit the hand, then that's nothing. All right, everybody got that. That's pretty clear. Now it's easier to watch it, slow it down, zoom it up, take a look at it. So I understand them in a game, but if we can try to start recognizing in a game, we can get that right more often. Now here's another directly out of the incidental contact definition, which for those of you who don't know, incidental contact is Rule 4, Section 27. And there's 5 articles that explain what incidental contact is. The last 2 articles basically explain how it's considered in screens. I'm going to play this first, and then we'll discuss that. That kid went down hard. Did you see it? Anyone have a foul on that?
No.
I thought it was a clean screen.
The kid went down hard and got injured. How can that be a clean screen?
I mean, he was set. He gave him time. I mean, he gave him more than 2 steps. I mean,
Right, so here we go. He's setting a screen right now, and for the most part, outside the visual field of that player. Do we agree?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
is the screen legal? Let's see. And I'm not doing this in order, establishing a legal screen in order from the book, but he's stationary. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Basically within his own shoulder width. Yes. His stance.
Yes.
I think so. Pretty close. He has to give time and distance. And if you watch the play as it plays, but he gave him a little over 2 steps. And he's moving pretty quick, but do we have to give more than 2 steps on a screen?
No.
We do not. Maximum of 2 steps. And you can face any direction on a screen. He's facing toward his opponent. So that's it. 4 articles to establish a legal screening position. So as he moves, 1, 2, and almost 3 steps, boom. Now, we agree that was a hard hit and fall down. Yes?
Absolutely.
But the rules book says a player who is screened outside the visual field, the opponent may make inadvertent contact with the screener. Such contact to be ruled incidental, provided the screener is not displaced if he or she has the ball. All right. It also says, I'm sorry, in Article 2, even though the contact may be severe, you could have incidental contact that is severe. Just because it's severe contact doesn't necessarily mean it's a foul. It could still be considered incidental, right? Because in what is incidental, basically defined saying there's 10 players moving on the court rapidly during a game. Contact is going to happen. Contact is going to happen. That is not a foul. That's not illegal activity. So how do we determine whether it is or not? On that screening play, if it's outside the visual field and he gives them enough time and distance, even if he gets blasted like that, that is considered incidental contact. Everyone
Yeah.
agrees with that, yes?
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. Plus the offensive kid that didn't see the screen. He made the contact. That big guy that was setting the screen made no contact on that kid. He's just standing there. There's no contact made by the screener either. He didn't step forward, step to this. He's just standing there, right?
Yeah, and you have to allow a player. And now again, if you're setting a screen, you have to give time and distance, but
Right.
they're allowed to stand there. All right. Did you guys see that? You might not have seen it. It's going to happen. Here, I want you to watch the 2 players. They're just getting ready to connect. Not the 2 players directly from the free throw line extended, but the ones just below them, closer to the division line. Do you see who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right, watch them. They fall to the floor. No whistle on the play. What do you think? Incidental or foul?
Oh,
Wow, he pushed right through him, through his shoulder, right into him. And he saw him.
It sure looked like he created contact.
Yeah, let's see it
As
again.
he was going by, he caused contact intentionally. Now, the contact in itself, in my opinion, the contact in itself, not a foul. Wasn't that bad. Until that contact caused the kid to fall down. Right? So you can then, it's just like, it doesn't have to be a play on the ball. You can see a play start, develop, and finish, and see how that kid is now on the ground and he didn't fall on his own and flop. I got to call that foul. Even if you come in a second late because you see now how it ended, I think that was a foul. Does anyone else see differently?
I mean, I agree. I think he
I
put
agree.
his shoulder into the,
Let's see it again.
not horribly, but
Not horrible, but he totally did it on purpose to create the contact, which caused the kid to fall down.
yeah, absolutely. Boom.
I mean, yeah, you did see right there with the left was, I think it's the left arm. You did see him shove on the initial contact going through.
Yeah. That's a
Now-
foul.
Now, if you say, well, I don't know, let me go back far enough. Hold on. We're about here. Well, he hit him. Yeah, it's not real. Because it looks like the lead is watching this. Looks like he is.
Yeah.
And he's like,
right on
okay,
top.
he hit him a little, but he's moving around him. I'm okay with that judgment. But then when you see the kid fall to the ground across the whole entire lane, unless you think that kid is flopping, and you may, that contact, now call it now. That's a second later, second and a half later. And if you get yelled at, that's a late whistle. Yeah, you're right. It's a late whistle. I was trying to pass on it, but you knocked him over. I can't let that slide. I think it's okay to call that whistle late if you want to. Yes, no?
Yes.
Agreed.
We have a lot of latitude when it comes to incidental contact, a lot of latitude to say, yes, that contact. Yes, he initiated that contact. Yes, he made the contact on purpose, but it didn't affect, as the rule book says, it didn't hinder the opponent from participating in a normal defensive or offensive movement. If we think that they were able to do a normal movement as they would have, despite that contact, we can allow it to happen. But as soon as we say, nope, now, because he got knocked to the ground, if I'm knocked to the ground, can I make a normal offensive or defensive movement? Of course not. So that's got to be a foul. It's not the best video. It glitches a little, but foul or nothing?
Nothing.
Was there contact?
Foul, hands in the back.
Was there contact?
Yes.
It was definitely contact.
Okay, there was definitely contact. Now, the question is that contact incidental or not? Did it hinder the opponent from making a normal offensive or defensive movement?
I think it made the shot more difficult. Because you're getting your back kind of bent when you're trying to lay the ball up. That makes it harder to make the layup.
All right, so if you think, and again, on that video, and I'll go back to it in a second, on that video, we can't see exactly, there's some players in the way. We can't see if the kid put his forearm into him, or if he was coming in and they just bumped into each other because they were both running that way. In my opinion, if he gives him one of those, I'm calling a foul, because to your point, I don't know who said that, that makes it more difficult to put that in. And he did put it in. I agree. But you gave him a shot on purpose to try and knock him off balance. However, if they're just running along and he's kind of going up to make, and then there's some bumping, I'm passing on that. I'm waiting to see, does the ball go through the basket? And if it goes through, he made his normal offensive movement. That contact did not hinder his movement, right? So we do have to read a little bit of intent. And by that, you can see, did he give one of these, or did they just bump? Anyone agree or disagree with that statement?
I think that's a good statement.
I can't tell if he gave him a shove. So I'm going to say he's trying to defend. He got behind. There's a little bit of a bump. He may have. I can't quite see behind that player. Maybe he's going up to try and block the shot. I think that's an easy pass and let the bucket just go through and move on.
If he holds his whistle for half a second, I think he probably realizes, I could let that go.
That's right. Be patient with your whistle. You see it start, develop, make sure you see it finish, and then decide, yes, foul, or no, I can pass. That's what I think. Now, it's also possible that game had some context. We've said this before. Context plays a big role in basketball, right? The fouls are 7-1. And though we don't call fouls because they're lopsided, it does make us go, all right, the next one that might go either way, I'm going to get that. Or maybe it's 30-1, right? In the third quarter. And okay, we're going to get the little ones. All that stuff comes into play. And those of you that say we shouldn't rule on time and score, Come on, we all do, right? It's about game management. And when it's 2-point ball game or 4-point ball game or even an 8-point ball game, that can swing either way. So we don't referee that. But when it's a 30-point game, clearly we change the way we call things. So, and I don't know what this game was. I don't know if they've been banging. Maybe it's physical and they're banging both ways. And you say, we got to get as much as we can because otherwise it's going to get out of control. Great. You're managing the game. So all we're doing now is taking that snippet out and saying, I'm passing on that because the contact was minimal. I don't know the context. Everyone understands that, right?
Yep.
All right. I put this one on Facebook. For those of you on Facebook, I got two that I put on Facebook that got a little bit of discussion. So let's watch. No whistle on the play. Everybody saw it, right? It happens right here where the kid's shooting. I'm going to play it fast real quick, and then we'll play it slow. No whistle on the play. What do we think? Is there contact? That's the first question. Is there contact?
Yeah, a lot.
Yes.
There's definitely contact on that play. But did the contact hinder the movement of that player? Did it keep him from moving in a normal offensive movement?
Not really.
What does he do? Takes one step, dribbles, kind of looks around. Doesn't look like he was affected whatsoever by that contact, does it?
No.
That, in my opinion, a great no call by that official. Everyone in the gym probably thought that was a foul. And why didn't you call a foul? But it didn't do anything. Right?
Yeah, 'cause he didn't go up and shoot the ball.
If he was a smart player, he would have made an effort to shoot the ball, and then he probably would have got a foul.
Right.
Right, 'cause
Agreed.
then that would have been contact.
So then you could say, well, the slight contact made it harder for him to shoot that ball. I got that.
Right.
He didn't. He turned, he looked, he passed. That's nothing.
I agree.
You guys are good, man. No disagreements so far. Here's another one I put on Facebook. A lot of reaction by the defender. Okay, a lot of reaction by the defender. He ended up scoring, which is why I played it all the way to the end. But no foul, no whistle by any of the officials. And it's right kind of in that try area where everyone's looking. Little shove there. Another little kind of shove there. What do we think? Foul or incidental? And you can have maybe, yes, a foul on one and not on the other. Nope, neither of them a foul. Both of them are a foul. What do you guys think?
This defender is strong. He's able to take, he wasn't really knocked off balance. The offensive play gained no advantage. He didn't really do anything. Just these are kind of plays you don't need to interrupt the game. And then that second one, he's thrown his head back. That's like a fake foul.
Right. I agree.
You know, that's a reason why we need the flopping rule in high school, I think. But I totally agree. And I think that was you, Mike, that was saying that. The defender's a strong defender. And although we shouldn't, rule necessarily on what can he take, he gave a little shove. I agree. It was an intentional shove, and it even moved the defender. But the defender recovered. The offensive player didn't gain any advantage. And then he reestablished himself, and then he came in, and I think he hit him a little bit on the second one, but the defender, I agree, totally flopped and faked with his head back. That's two. Again, it takes a good disciplined official to see those plays, watch them again, start, develop, finish. No, okay, no whistle, then move on. Start, develop, finish. Okay, no whistle and move on. That, when we blow those whistles, in my opinion, you are interrupting the game. Those kids want to play through that contact. They want to play. That one kid, the defender wants to steal. The offensive player wants a bucket, make a drive. Let them play. Anyone see anything different than that? Remember, this is a safe space. You can disagree.
Well, now you tell us.
Mm.
I don't play many girls' videos. Let's play a girls' video. This is from a couple years ago, but state championship game.
Look at that on the fast break. What Ruthie is.
Wait a
Look at that
second.
on the fast break.
Oh man, what a terrible clip. I clipped a terrible job. Well, let's watch the slow motion here. She comes in. Okay, now the official called an out of bounds call. So he's ruling that contact
Incidental.
incidental. I'm going to play it again. I know we don't see it fast very well, but here's the slow motion.
I think he made a great call. I think he made the right call.
So who did he call the out of bounds for? He gave it to Black. Why did Mike go out of bounds?
Contact because of 24.
She got fouled. That's why.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
think that's a foul.
I don't think she would have went out of bounds if she hadn't gotten bumped. It looked like she was stopping.
Yeah, I got a foul on that.
And then as soon as she got bumped.
I think she was going. I mean, that's really close. I mean, I see
Watch
what you
it.
guys are
Watch
saying.
it now. She knocked
Right
her
there.
down.
Mike, I agree it's really close. I do. But look, she's for the most part, she got his other foot down.
Yeah,
She
you're right.
probably could have stopped. Maybe
Probably right there.
maybe she wouldn't have stopped. But you know what? That bump definitely made her go down.
And White did get to the spot first, for sure. That's for sure. Yep.
So I think that is one where we say, well, it's an incidental. And I agree. The defender was trying to not bump her. I think she was trying to stop. It wasn't an intentional, I'm shoving you out of bounds. But the reason she bumped into her caused her to go out of bounds, then I think it has to be a foul at that point.
Hey, Josh, a long time ago, when I was young, which
Mhm.
is a long time ago, they used to have a foul. It was a force out.
Yeah.
Really? There was a foul called a force out?
It was a force out, so the White would keep the ball. Yep,
Wow.
long time ago.
They got rid of that. It was too hard for officials to get right.
Yeah.
There was a back, you called it all the time.
That's interesting.
I mean, that was when I played, not when I was roughing.
Back in 1909.
10.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's look at another one. I like this one. Yeah, out of bounds call, no whistle on the contact. Let me play it fast again real quick. Not the verticality block, right up here at the top. Anyone have anything yet before I play it slow?
Foul.
You have a foul?
Yeah.
He reached in, but I think since he gave it to White, well, no, he didn't. He gave it to Black. I mean,
I got a foul in the black
yeah, I think it
jersey.
should have been a foul. I mean, he's in there.
Foul.
Do you see any contact there that gave anyone an advantage or disadvantage over the other? Or were they both just going for a loose ball?
Yeah, now I see loose ball.
They're both going for the ball.
Right? They're both going for the ball. There's hardly any contact. There's some, but they're both throwing their bodies at the ball. That is an excellent no call by that official. It looks bad when you see it live and you see two bodies and they kind of go together and then they fall down. And how is that not a foul? Because they both had the same advantageous play at the ball. And yes, maybe there was some contact, but that's considered then incidental. What does the rule say? It says they're both in equally favorable positions, which I thought in that video that it was textbook. Exactly. They both had the chance at it. They both had the chance about it. Yeah, a little bit. And then the ball goes out of bounds. Yeah. No.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree too. Now, the old Josh, the old line save a foul works too.
Well, save a foul. I don't like lines like that, Tim, because, guy
That's incidental. That's a line.
analogy. Hey, let's just get the felonies. Let's save a
No.
foul. Let's even it out.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
I'm
saying,
just saying, there's all these little phrases that, when used in the right context, you're absolutely right. That's good. We can save a foul. But when someone else who doesn't understand the context
yeah,
hears that, they say, "Oh, I'm not going to call that. I'm going to save a foul." Well, no, but that's not what you're saying, right? I mean,
no, that's not what I mean. You're
so
right.
you have to just be careful with what you're saying, because some guys will say, "Well, I heard some guy told me on Officials Institute, save a foul if you can." If it's a foul, it's a foul.
The foul,
But
right? I
know
get it.
whether the play caused an advantage or a disadvantage. And if it didn't, or if you can't discern whether it did or didn't, then call nothing. Better to call nothing and not penalize a good play than to call something and then now you've penalized someone for not doing anything wrong.
Agreed.
This is an old one.
Good. 3 seconds remaining. 2. Look at us. No foul called.
Coach looks like, what the? Okay. Now he loses the ball a little. Other player comes in. There's some contact.
No control.
It's a last second shot. You have a foul on white, black, or nothing.
Nothing.
I got incidental contact.
3 seconds remaining. 2. Look at us.
And the reason why I say that is because, as we stated earlier, they're both green or black, whoever it is. Obviously, he's losing the ball right here. And White's just getting it because he knows he's already lost it. So he's just over the loose ball at that point.
Okay, so incidental contact here at this point, right?
Yes.
What about here?
Want to call that? That's
Then I would call that, yeah.
Is he not trying to grab him so he doesn't get to the ball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's clearly holding his arm.
On a
Yep.
last second shot, which he could possibly get and throw up? I think that's a foul on black.
That's a foul. Yeah.
Foul on black 20 with the hold.
Now, again, easier said than done when you can slow it down and freeze frame it.
Look at us. No foul
Yeah.
called.
It looks like maybe he hits him and just causes his body to turn from the incidental contact. But when you slow it down, I think he grabbed him.
Right there, yeah. Like clearly has a hold of his arm.
Shirt.
He's got a shirt too. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the bottom of his shirt too.
Now, the seconds are counting down. If you get that foul, would it have made a difference? If you didn't get it, would have he gotten to it and thrown it up? Maybe it is a good no call because there's no way he would have got to the ball to put the shot up. So just let the time run out.
I was going to say that. I thought the ball was moving so fast away from that player, and the time is so close to the horn. Just let it play out and leave it alone, I thought.
If you can think that fast, and honestly, I don't know if I can, but if you can think that fast, like, hey, no, there's no way he's getting to that ball to get that shot up, I'm passing. And it's not like he went over to him and grabbed him from getting it. He got bumped by the defender. So there was contact, which now they're there. And then, yeah, he grabbed him after that. So I could see passing on that foul and it being okay.
Mhm.
Would it made a difference in the score? No, it was 26-18. So why stop the game at that point for a foul that's marginal, right? That has no bearing on the game.
All right. Let me play this one. I put this together today. I just wonder what you all will say. Okay. Foul is a shooting foul. What do you think?
Oh,
Oh,
charge all day.
I got a shooting foul. I got a shooting foul.
Shooting foul? Watch it
Right.
again.
This is a double foul. There's a
Yeah.
there's a hack on the arm, and then he charges.
Well, you got to
yep,
hack on the
yep,
arm
yep,
first.
go
Yep, you
ahead.
have the guy from behind.
There's the foul right there.
Yeah, obviously on the arm, you got that charge right there. Yeah.
All right, let me break this down. So I heard shooting foul. I heard a charge, even though it sounds like maybe they changed their opinion. And then I heard a double foul. So first of all, is this defender legal?
Yep.
Yep.
Right? He's got 2 feet. He's facing his opponent. He's definitely has a legal guarding position. He is getting ready to take that charge. But then what happens?
Got to foul first.
This kid fouls him stupidly while he's in the act of shooting. Yes?
Yeah.
Correct.
What does that mean? That means the ball is still live because he is allowed to continue his motion. Yes?
Correct.
Okay.
What is this? The false, what's the right word? What is
Hold
it?
on, I'm going to, yeah, you're getting there.
False
On-
double.
419.1. On the note, it says contact after the ball has become dead is incidental unless it is ruled intentional or flagrant or is committed on an airborne shooter. Wait, what is this?
Airborne shooter.
Airborne shooter.
Airborne shooter. And is it a dead ball?
No.
No,
So the
it's
ball
not.
has not become dead yet. So this cannot be considered incidental contact, can it?
No.
That is a foul. So what do we have? Mike, I think you said it.
Double foul.
It is a
False
false
foul.
double foul.
Oh.
Come on, false double foul. Who has a false double foul? I agree. I kind of say go with the first one because it's easier. It's cleaner. Everybody understands it. But by rule, he got fouled in the act of shooting. Totally. But he ran into that player who was standing there before he went airborne. They both should be penalized. How do we handle that then? If it's a false double foul, do we know what the ruling is for that?
Two shots.
If you don't, you better not call it.
That's right. That's for sure.
Good one.
False double fouls and false multiple fouls are penalized
In the order.
individually, right? So each foul carries its own weight and in the order that happens. So what do we do? The first foul happened was the shooting
foul.
foul,
On
right?
the arm, yeah.
Foul.
So he's going to get 2 shots, yes?
Or
Yeah.
one if it went in. I don't remember if it went in.
It went in, but what did he do?
If it went in,
Charge.
we don't count it. We shoot the 2 free throws.
He charged into that player. That is a player control foul. It is not a double foul where you count the bucket. It is a false double foul. Therefore, that is a player control foul still. Basket is wiped off. By canceling the score, then allows the shooter what?
2 shots.
He gets 2 shots because he was fouled in the act of shooting. Do you put anyone in the lane?
No,
No.
Why not?
Yes.
no, because the
No.
other team gets the ball on the charge.
Oh,
Because the next foul is a player control foul,
Right.
which gives the other team the ball for a throw-in, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. Point of interruption.
Correct. So you clear the lane, you let them shoot 2 shots, and then you give the ball to the other team for a throw-in. Everybody understand that? And to be honest, this is kind of news to me too. This happens kind of often. Right? Foul, and then he barrels the guy over. That's penalized on both, or should be. And I think the more I think about it, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So
Said that
my
happens
question,
often. In 11 years, I've never had that
I've
situation.
never called
although
it.
I've never called it. Right.
I've been reffing almost 30 years and I've never called it once. And I know specifically in my mind, I said, Coach, I know he ran him over, but he got fouled here first. Now, as I'm playing it back in my mind, maybe he wasn't in the act of shooting. If he wasn't in the act of shooting, then the contact is incidental, right? But if he's in the act of shooting, the ball remains live until he finishes his shot, or it goes in, or misses the unsuccessful, or I just mumbled all that together. Does everybody understand that concept?
Yeah.
So
So I-
the player control is not incidental contact because he was fouled in the act of shooting and the ball remains live.
But Josh, you got to hope that you don't have 2 refs that come in, one with a charge and one with a block. They hold their signals.
Boy, that just creates even more, doesn't it? So now you have
Yes, it
you have a
does.
false multiple, no, a false double foul. That's when you say, let's just go with the first one. Because and actually, Bob, technically, if you've got a player control foul and a block, that then becomes a double foul. Yes.
Yeah, it's a double. Yeah.
And the ball is dead on a double foul. And if the ball is dead on a double foul, I guess it still would be, right? Because the after shooting is live. So no, it's I don't know. Don't have one of those.
Yeah, the ball's not dead if it's out of the guy's hand too, right? It's not dead.
Right. It doesn't become dead until the second foul. Well, actually, even if the second foul happens, the ball is allowed to continue, right?
Yeah, it doesn't go dead unless if it goes in through the hoop, then you gotta.
Well, the player control makes it dead as soon as the player control happens. But if it's a double foul and the ball goes in, it should count.
You count the basket, you're right.
Yeah. And you give him one shot, right? For the first foul. And then the second foul is double foul, which is point of interruption, which would then what? What's the point of interruption?
The foul. No, the made
so
basket. The made basket is a point of interruption.
So who gets the ball? Who gets the ball after a made basket?
The defensive team.
The team who wasn't scored on. So
right.
You still wouldn't put anyone in the lane because they are supposed to get the ball after the made basket.
Right.
Double.
Oh, that's good.
You go into the arrow. If it's missed, it's a double foul. We have no team control. Then if it's a missed shot, we have to go to.
That's a good question. So if it's missed, where was the point of interruption?
The release
second
shot,
foul.
a try
on the missed possession. On the missed shot, right? Which means it goes to the arrow because the ball's in flight.
The other scenario is if the guy is dribbling the ball and the ball has not left his hand yet, and he runs into the guy, then the point of interruption is that the contact, right, ball, and the ball goes back to the offense.
If the ball is still in the offensive player's hands.
Yes. Then it goes back to the off because the point of interruption is a double foul, and he still has control of the ball.
So really, when trying to discern on a double foul what we do with the ball, it doesn't automatically go to the arrow. You have to know what the status of the ball was.
Correct.
Yeah. And so if the ball is in the offensive player's hands, point of interruption is with the ball in the offensive player's hands. If the ball goes through the basket, the point of interruption goes to the team who wasn't scored upon because the ball went through the basket. If the ball is in the air on a try and it doesn't go in, the point of interruption is on a try, it goes to the arrow.
Exactly. That's it.
All right. Let me play a few more incidental, and then I have an end of the quarter play I want to show you. Two bodies on the floor here and no whistle. What do you think?
White lost his balance, but Green was able to complete the pass, so it didn't really affect Green at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in my commentary, and I'm not saying we're gonna see this live because this is a tough play. So you have to get a feel for the game and a feel for what happened. And it's I think it was you, Mike. Nothing really happened as of the result of those bodies on the floor. Therefore, it's nothing. But let's see what actually happened. How does Green fall to the ground?
He trips over White.
Yeah, right there.
Did White trip him, or did Green simply trip over White?
Looks like White tripped over Green.
Well, right, but Green tripped over White, and then White tripped over Green. They got their feet tangled up,
Right.
But not because either of them did anything illegal, in my opinion. They
Right.
both just were moving, trying to defend, trying to play offense, and they got tangled up and they foul.
Yep.
So therefore, that's nothing.
And
They were
didn't
both-
call-
They were both in equally favorable positions to perform normal defensive and offensive movements. They just got their feet tangled up.
Did
Yep,
they call,
Green
did
did
anybody, was there a call in that play, Josh?
No whistle.
Good.
No.
Excellent.
And I think it was more because, again, the more games you work, you get a feel for the game. And I think it was Mike said, nothing really happened. And he passed the ball away and they fell. And, it was, nothing egregious. So it's a play on. You have to sometimes
Right.
just know that's nothing.
And you could have anticipated a charge there, but Green did a great job of pulling up and passing the ball without any real contact.
Agreed. All right, one more. I just like these so much. Foul or no foul? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd let that go.
Yep.
I'd let that one go for sure. Not much there.
Nothing.
Was there even any contact at all?
Very little.
Very little.
If there was, it was very minimal. I agree. They both were off balance. They both went through. I think the shooter honestly went down easier trying to get the foul. That's nothing. We all agree with that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Hit-
I want to find my end of the quarter play. And I just want to see who was on the call about 2 months ago, maybe. And we had a last second shot at the end of the game. It went in, the benches cleared, the fans came onto the floor. They called a technical foul. There was supposedly a timeout that was being asked for. Does anyone remember that was on the call?
No.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, I
remember
was
that.
on it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, I was on it.
Nobody acknowledged it until afterwards.
All right.
Right.
It's not the same, but here's a similar play. Well, that kid's proud of his dunk too.
Yeah.
And wait a second, now we have all the fans on the floor, all the players on the floor. And wait a second, where's the visiting team going? Now, if you can see it, that's me trying to direct traffic.
You should be a policeman.
Chadberg looking for some good ones.
And then they line up and they shoot because there was a foul. For those of you that didn't see, there was a foul. And then I'm letting this all play out because you see the official who called the foul heading to the table. Now he's at the table. Well, what's he doing? Can we assume what he's doing right now?
Yes.
What's he doing?
Adjusting clock.
Yeah, checking the time. See if there's time left.
Is he checking the time or is he telling them that there's time left?
He's telling them that there's time left.
Time left.
He is not checking. He is not saying, hey, what do you guys think?
No, he's making a decision.
He is going there and saying, we're putting 1 second on the clock. Now, does he have definite knowledge? We're going to say he does. Yes. But I will tell you, there's no sound on this play. I'm going to play it again as I speak. But if you see when the foul is, I'm going to pause it. Beep. How much time?
2.
2 seconds.
Okay. And then watch it. And now from the whistle of the foul to the buzzer of the horn, do you think the officials know that there's time on the clock?
No.
No.
I think they do. And I'll tell you what, I'm the center. And I don't know what's going on because I didn't call the foul. And I said to myself, that was an awfully long time before the horn went off. Now, I don't have definite knowledge. I'm not coming over to give any information because I don't know. But I know that there's got to be time left on the clock because that was a really long time after the whistle. Okay. Now, Because I know that there should be time on the clock. Does that give me the right to go over and say, we got to put time back up on the clock?
No.
No, because I have no idea.
No.
Well, the only way you would know, Josh, if you heard the whistle blew and you looked up at the clock. Because you have
Correct.
you have last second responsibility, right?
Correct. So
Opposite the table.
So almost always the official, well, not always, but the official who calls the fouls, probably knowing that it's the end of the quarter, probably going to look up at the clock to see I blew my whistle, and I'm going to make sure that that clock doesn't run all the way down. And that's what we should be doing at least.
Right.
Doesn't mean we're always going to do it, but the one who calls the
Right.
foul knows, and they look up and they get a shot. So I'm assuming that's what he did. He saw 1 second, took him that long to look up there, 1 second on the clock. But let's remember the last time the fans came out, the players came out, and they end up giving a technical foul. Should we have given a technical foul on this?
If you want to.
No, because
I'm
everybody
just
thinks
saying
the half is
no.
over.
No, if you want a big hassle.
I mean, the reason why I would say no
Good one, Tim.
is because it's kind of like the last video. It's like the players really didn't even know. It looks like they were basically saying it's over. They didn't even know there was a foul call till the last minute.
Yeah, because the horn went off, so they thought it was over.
The horn went off. Everyone thought the quarter was over. Look at the visiting bench. Even the coach is kind of like, what's going on? Right?
Right.
You can
Right.
see the offensive coach, the home team bench coach saying, come on back, guys, come on back. Because he's now realizing, and of course, I'm directing traffic, but now watch what I say to the coach here. Look, he's like, did you see that? I'm going to just play it again
Yeah.
real quick. I just want you to see the acknowledgement. I'm like, yeah, no problem. The coach says, I didn't hear the whistle. Yeah, I know you didn't hear the whistle. I'm not going to tee you up because everybody in the gym thought the game was over, right? So you bring the players back. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. You got to bring them all back and you bring them over and you line them up and you get the time back on the clock. But nobody was doing it maliciously. Yes, by rule, the players cannot leave the bench area, right? By rule, that's a technical foul for both teams. But nobody knew. They were just kind of, yeah, game's over. Let's go to the locker room. Game's over. It was a halftime. Half's over. We'll go to the locker room. So just bring them out, put them back, line them up, and you're good to go.
The calling official really didn't convey with any kind of conviction that there was any time left. So there's no way how could anybody even know that?
It was a little, and it was loud in that gym, and there's whistles under masks, and lots of things come into play with, he wasn't he went up. It was clearly he had a foul, but the buzzer went off. Nobody heard the whistle. He kind of walked over nonchalantly, right? So a lot of things could have been done to help avoid that. But the point is, it happened. How do we handle it now that it happened, right?
Mm.
You guys agree that we should have just brought him back,
Yep.
or does someone think we should have sent some technical fouls?
No,
No.
No.
there was nothing malicious there.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
common sense, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep,
Right,
game
well-
management.
That's all I got, guys. March 17 is our next meeting.
That's St. Patty's Day.
It is I just saw it today. It's St. Patrick's Day. So for those of you that hit the bars heavy, you can come over and be a little inebriated if you need to. I will still be here if you all don't want to come because it's a national holiday. I understand, but
It's a national holiday for me, Josh.
we're talking about guarding. And so that's going to be not so much block charge, which is my favorite. So I'll probably throw a few of them in there. But legal guarding position, was the guard legal when the contact happened? Were they moving obliquely? Were they moving laterally? Was the dribbler allowed to go into a less than 3 foot area? Those types of plays. So hopefully you all can make it next month. But I thank you for coming tonight. And as always, I hope it was helpful, at least enjoyable.
Right. Good
It was
job,
good.
Josh.
Very good. Very good,
Very
Josh.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck in
Have a great
postseason,
weekend.
guys. For those that got postseason, good luck.
And may you never have a false double foul in your game.
All right, guys, take
All
care.
right. All
All
right.
right.
See you, Josh.
See you, Josh.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Josh. Take
Stay out
care.
of trouble.